Greetings and welcome in a tente with a Frenchman. And I want to say hello to all of you at the same time. If you are a listener of this podcast, you don't understand why I have to specify it. But this time it's new. This podcast is being filmed. As this episode of Le HexaTrek, Le thru de France, will become a bit more personal, it felt natural to start it in my tent. We'll then cover one of the biggest skip made on the trail yet, succumb to acute lake madness, and realize that we are not forced to follow blindly what's on the map to enjoy the hike. But first, this podcast. Originally, I started this 5-minute daily podcast on my first thru hike in Croatia to reassure Mother that I didn't get eaten by a bear. But because Mother doesn't speak English, it gathered a different crowd and became a habit I kept along this trek too. 154 episodes to discover more intimately the HexaTrek with me. All of it is available now, and we'll go more in depth about how my mindset evolved during the hike. Be warned though, the podcast gets real personal and lack of perspective, exhaustion, and sometimes alcohol helping, I dare to express reserves and issues not shown here. Anyway, back in Modane, where, after indulging myself in an all-you-can-eat hotel, which my inflated hiker's stomach took as a personal challenge, I reluctantly started my suffering again. But luckily, a new challenger appeared to give me an excuse to slow down.
Valfrejus is very well known in the winter as one of the hip places to have fun with other people, and in the summer it's very well known as a dead place. This place is absolutely dead. There is nobody around. It's insane. I could literally walk around naked. Nobody would call the police. I don't even think the police would know where to go. And on top of that, my rest day continued because I met another HexaTrekker. He just got up on me and we decided to have a few beers because that's what HexaTrek people do. We have beers. So now it's 1:30 and we still haven't started the day. It's going to be a very difficult climb under the sun. But hey, fuck it. Had a rest day. I'm happy. It's a good moment. 2,000 more kilometers to go.
Lucas is a proud Frenchman who loves good food. But he probably watched too many tutorials on how to conduct American thru hike.
This is France. See, it's beautiful. We have the best bread possible. We have the best fucking cheese. My God, you're such a horrible French person. I mean, we have the best bread in the world. We have the best cheese in the world. And you buy hamburger slices and horrible pain de mie. And you're doing all of that on camera. Yeah. Jesus Christ, man.
There's a caloric burgers.
After forcing this man to buy more saucisson, we parted ways as he was so much faster. But it's okay. It allowed me to get acquainted with alpine lakes that are as abundant and exciting as castles in Les Vosges.
This is a lake. You can recognize it by the way the water stays in one place, even though it's not raining. And it is very practical if you want to have deep thought looking at the non-moving water. I have nothing else to say because it is probably the 10th lake of the day. The first lake is like, ooh, a lake. Second lake is, I could swim in that lake. The third lake is like, yeah, I've seen that. And after that is just like a repeating body of water. So the name of this lake is the Round Lake. It's not even fucking round. But this is Le Lac Rond. French people. Now I am above the lake. And really, I just came here to take a silly picture for Instagram. Just because hiking makes me stupid. So now I am here, on a rock, above a lake. And it's not that cold.
My lake madness was just starting.
Hey, guess what I have behind me? A lake. Guess what's that? A lake. Bonus point. 2 lakes.
Lake! It's all fun and giggles, sure, but mostly ups and downs on rocks again. And now, the HexaTrek decides to go a certain way that I didn't really fancy. I have been walking down south for weeks now and painfully gained every kilometer to my goal. Much like a rugby player, I only want to go forward, not backward. I might be slow, but I am steady. That's why the idea of engaging on Le Tour des Écrins here, this bulge, made no sense to me. I would have to walk back up north. That's a damn detour, made of pure ascents, descents, and rocks. Everything I dislike the most. After a long hesitation on the Col du Lautaret, I decided to find an alternative. And it was an amazing decision, as it has been probably one of the best hiking days on the trek. I even found a scenic bridge leading to nowhere.
This is unexpected. And this is terrifying. I'm hanging on top of a cliff, suspended by a pile of rock and a bit of metal. And I didn't even know it existed. I didn't even know it was there. You just climb up and all of a sudden you have this big dive into the abyss. This is the kind of little surprise I like to find on a trail. Something that has been made just to enjoy without even knowing it's there. Yeah, a little good hit. But I'm going to shit myself.
A mix of a cute river, a doable ascent, a pit stop in a cool village, and a finish on Plateau d'Ambaris, where tents are everywhere, as locals know how beautiful and dramatic bivouacs are by those lakes. And the morning was just fantastic.
This is a very nice pond. Some would call it a lake, because ponds sound bad, but it's also very muddy. And it's a joy to be here. It's really hard to go. The sun is perfect, the place is perfect, the view on the glacier and everything is perfect. Just want to take a very long breakfast that never ends.
Alas, I had to go. But after a pit stop on the side of a random mountain, I spotted a man chilling under me in a desert section with no tracks. Another HexaTrekker! And a few minutes later, yet another one!
So here I am with two other HexaTrekkers, Gabin and Bernard. They've been in front of me for a long time, and we just met completely randomly in the middle of nowhere. Not exactly the middle of nowhere, because now is a very difficult part of the HexaTrek, but it's basically going across mountains without any terrain, without any track, without any sign, without anything, and a lot of cliffs. Dangerous cliffs. So it's actually quite nice that the guys are here, because that way we can all hike together and manage to make sure that nobody dies this time.
The 30 calms was a nightmare. There is now an alternate path to avoid it, but I felt I needed to try it for the ones behind me. A decision I ended up regretting, as the lack of track kept me looking at my GPS every 5 meters.
It's just going up and down those ridiculous ridges constantly. Like this is the way. You just go down this cliff, by this, down the cliff, up the cliff, down the cliff, up the cliff.
Which is not what I want to do on a long distance hike, and it prevents me from that sweet automatic walking daydreaming. And also, because I injured myself again.
I hurt my knee yesterday on this difficult part, because there is no trail, and it's always wobbly. My knee went sideways and I twisted it, and I have a problem with my ligaments. So now my knee is a little bit sensitive. So today I have decided, which is not an easy decision, I'm going to go on another direction. I'll be parallel to the HexaTrek for a while on a section that is marked. I know that for people who don't want to have unmarked sections in the mountains, I will be able to say you can go there and continue on this direction, it's fine.
I didn't want to ever go on unmarked terrain again on this hike. Those difficulties really took a toll on me. I learned after my thru hike ended that I actually ruptured my ACL ligaments before the trail, which explained my regular knee instability. I started to feel a bit fed up again with hiking, as all mountains started to look alike. All lakes too. all refugees. And all my discussions with anybody were constantly about the same topic, which tired me. Between social media, every social interaction, filming the documentary, recording the podcast, managing the community, I felt overwhelmed by being a HexaTrek billboard. And on top of it, minerals.
And welcome in the last section of the Alps. What I'm standing on now are rocks. To be completely honest, I'm kind of fed up with rocks and lakes. It's the millions I've seen. And it's beautiful, but it's just not as how. It's like if you like chocolate and the only thing you eat for 2 weeks or 2 months is fucking chocolate every day for every meal. You will still kind of be tired of it. I'm just a bit tired of everything. But the guy was amazing. Sush at the Refuge de Setlo. Amazing guy. He put the HexaTrek sign and we had a good discussion. Even offered me the chocolate. The warm chocolate, and that was good.
I'm definitely not a mountain goat, and while I love the mountains in general, I'm not cut for high mountains either. And the rest of the Belden chain would be more of the same ad nauseam. So here again, after reaching the high point of that part, I decided to adapt to something I enjoy more.
Welcome at Le Col de la Vache. If you do like rocks, you will have the time of your life in here because well, it is mainly rock and wind, as you can see from my puffy shirt. Problem is that this goes for 70 kilometers. And I don't feel like climbing on this for 70 kilometers, especially because I have a problem with my knee. I might take a shortcut to avoid doing only that. But in here it's beautiful, and the weather is perfect today for this. And it is a good way for the Alps to say goodbye. The Alps have been very difficult for me. But Vercors is coming. Apparently there is a huge difficulty at the beginning, but avoidable very easily. So, we'll see.
And that's the beauty of France. You can always find an official way down or up when needed. And you can enjoy the million of great trails available. Following blindly a line on a map felt ridiculous, as it made me unhappy. And adapting it made me happy. Make your thru hike truly yours. Do what you really like. Be flexible. It's a French trail. Be French. We're not really good at blindly following rules, you know? As soon as I took this decision, I felt instantly lighter. And that salamander felt it.
Last feet in a lake in the Alps. And I'm seeing a salamander. I'm going for the salamander. And the salamander is going away. But here I am. Okay, I will not do anything because I'm terrified of the salamander, but it was fun for a while. Now it's going to beat me.
Anyway, last lake.
And soon I would be discovering what I've been chasing since the beginning, the Mont Aiguille. But that is for another episode of the HexaTrek, Le Thru de France. And in the meantime, I wish you a very happy broadcasting. I hope that you were preparing your broadcast and that you're going to rock this. And I wish you a very good night. Cheers.